Oh, okay.
And,
Welcome to the Ramblecast. Sorry we're late. Just it happens sometimes. Life happens and
shit gets in the way, right?
Yes.
Right, Nick? Shit gets in the way.
Shit gets in the way. Yeah.
Well, you said that you were going to be late because
Yeah.
you had a big shit. So I was
You're
like,
right.
okay, well,
that-
fine. If you're going to be late,
I didn't even read that part.
Yeah. Chris said I'm late, having a discussion with my child, and then Matt said I'm going to be late. I'm having a discussion with my wife, and I went, I'm going to be late. I'm taking a massive shit. So
well, like I said, I was sitting.
Kidding, though, but...
I was sitting here for like 3 minutes. I go, I can't believe I'm the only one here. Then I said, did we say Wednesday night? I'm old. I don't know. It could be,
It could be Thursday. It could be Tuesday. So,
yeah. So
good to see you guys. I survived a. Okay, the tornado wasn't that. But it was on the north side of our city.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it was fairly close, and that was weird because it occurred right after I got off. Right after I got off. I'll just leave it at that. This other show that I do with Jack's son. I don't know if you've heard of that, but
the one the reason we had to record tonight is because you can't do tomorrow night.
I don't know. I don't know when Jay has to record, but he can't do tonight apparently.
He's at La Miz, whatever that.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was going to the Miserable.
Miserable,
so,
yes.
What if we just said it in the actual translation, right? Anyway, after I got off of the show, it was like 11:15, and all of our phones in the house just went off like tornado warning, seek shelter immediately. And so my daughter was already on edge, and so then I was like, great. She was like, well, he did come downstairs.
Okay.
So yeah, he naturally just came down here. This is usually where
that's good. You have a basement.
Yeah, I'm recording from the shelter now. Everybody piled on the couch, and we put on HBO The World of Calm. So if you've not checked out
personally,
that series,
I would have put on Twister.
Right, exactly.
My daughter's turned into quite the weather person now after this traumatizing experience. But she was a bit of a cat with her hair kind of puffed out. Like if you touched her, she would have jumped. And but anyway,
I think it is funny how something like that can really change. Like I'm not sure how far, like you're saying the weather person, but like I remember, when the Challenger exploded, anything when you're young like that, it's like burned into your memory. You kind of have a different. Because I remember like getting super into NASA. I don't know why, but like right after, I think every kid our age though was super into NASA. But
oh my god,
sure,
yeah.
I mean,
I was
that movie Space Camp.
Yeah, the movie Space Camp, the Challenger explosion. Like there was so much NASA presence. Same as like everyone of our generation also likes the Titanic for some reason because they discovered it in '87 or '86 or whatever it was. So it was such a memory of like they found the ship. Like okay,
well, and then James Cameron discovered it
again.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was an F2. I found out that hit Whiteland, which is just on the north side of Franklin.
Sounds like a pretty inclusive place.
It does, doesn't it? So not to be confused with Whitestown, which no, is it Whitestown? Yeah, I think it's Whitestown. Also in Indiana, and we have a green wood. So we love all of the colorful.
You have a green wood.
Yeah, there's green wood. So this is how if you think about where Indianapolis is, okay, just going straight down from it, there's Greenwood, there's Whiteland, and then there's Franklin. So, and that's anyway, our power here in the city got knocked out, but we were fortunate in all of that. So all in all, feel pretty fortunate in all of it. But there was a lot of damage, and there was these they've put in these huge mega Amazon warehouse kind of buildings. They just keep going up everywhere, right?
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah.
So there's like 4 right in Whiteland. There's 4 brand new ones that they put up right by the highway. So if you're traveling 65, anybody in the area, one's fine. The next one, the finger of God just wiped off the face of the map. And then there's another one just fine, completely fine, So, and it's amazing how that stuff tornadoes just pop around, and it touches one thing and it won't touch the next.
Right.
It's crazy. So
like the one that went through where I was born, where I'm from, through the northwest part of Tennessee and Kentucky, where it killed all those people in the candle shop.
Yes,
remember,
the candle shop.
Yeah. Where it came through in Tennessee, it went through our lake that's there, and you can I mean, it's still there to this day because it ripped all the trees out of the ground, but you can see where it hit, and then it just decided to go right along the edge of the lake, the coast part of it, and then it moved on. You're like, man, like, why would it choose to just go on the edge of the lake like that? It's spooky.
It couldn't swim.
Couldn't swim, yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the temperature too. You get that hot, cool front. I mean, a lot of times big cities, and they almost avoid it because they have a bit of a heat dome, from all of the cement, and so it causes, also just the buildings cause wind disruption. But anyway, that was my excitement.
They're scary because we had one come through here about probably 10, 12 years ago, like a 5, I think, and it hit the rink.
5 is pretty rare though.
I don't know what it was. It was one where I came home and my mom kept calling and I said, "What does she want?" She goes, I said, "Oh, I checked her voicemail. She said, "Oh, there's a tornado coming." And when she called, "There's a tornado coming." She goes, "Shut up and turn on your TV." Well, it showed this tornado was just coming through the state and just demolishing everything. It hit the rink. We had not a lot of damage, but it hit this mobile home park next to us and killed 4 people.
Oh.
And it knocked out our power, and we had really strong winds because I was home and everyone's hiding in the bathroom. I'm on the porch watching it, but it was pretty one
of those guys.
I said, okay, I want to see a tornado. We just had, leaves were just
right.
It was a sea of leaves and everything like that. But yeah, I've seen it and I don't want to see it again.
Cheers to you, Randy.
So I'm glad you're safe, Matt.
Did you get that Whitestown or whatever?
No. weirdest thing about Whiteland though is that their football mascot, their high school football team mascot or whatever, is a Native American. And so you can buy a T-shirt that says Whiteland with a Native American face on it. I kid you not.
How do you get away with that?
It's fucking Indiana.
Wow.
Yeah. Real keep it classy, Indy. Anyway, for all my Indiana listeners out there, because I know you tune in for me.
I know Mike Pence is a big fan of yours.
He is a huge. In fact, I spoke to him the other day. I was like, you know what? Stop with this whole thing. Go ahead, just do your testimony, get it done with.
He's going to, by the way. You see that?
I know.
Well, he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Well, he was going to appeal it, but he's not going to.
Well, yeah, he's gonna. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get on that tangent. But tornadoes, they're a thing, and a bunch came through all the way from. I mean, Arkansas and Mississippi. I mean, they got hit pretty bad too. There was, I think, the death toll from the recent tornadoes just kept going up. It was like
that's crazy.
Yeah. So
there's more and more people out there recording video with their cell phones. It's like, get the fuck inside, you idiot. You see that video of that woman who got sucked out of the front door of the building?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that one.
Stupid. Yeah.
Was she videotaping it? Is that?
Yeah.
What happened to her? She died?
She ended up being okay, but she literally got torn out of the building. Like, it sucked out into the parking lot.
Those TikTok clicks, though, man, they're going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it.
I'm an influencer!
$5.
You can cash that in as soon as it gets banned. So I said, offer good until it's banned. Expiration date.
You know what?
Pending.
I don't think
should we talk about TikTok getting banned?
I don't think it's going to pass because the bill is really bad.
Doesn't.
Yeah,
it's awful.
The bill does not even mention TikTok, and that's the thing. It's really the Patriot Act 2.0. It's really there to give it more control over any kind of application.
It's crazy.
Which is scary.
Yeah, it's not cool, man. Like, and the scary part about it is too is it's crossing party lines, and I think it's because I
don't we want the parties to get together?
I'm about
Not
to
on this.
I'm about to sound like a fucking libertarian here for a second. And I'm a little bit nervous about it. But the idea of suppressing this type of media is what the left and the right want, because they want to keep people fucking stupid.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, to be fair.
There's a lot of scary stuff coming down the pipe.
Dude, it's scary as shit. Like, I mean, granted, like the whole security side of TikTok that has to be investigated, and it should be
for sure.
It should be kept an eye on. There's no doubt about that.
If they can tune into your 11-year-old
platform
or your 12-year-old,
the idea of shutting down an entire platform because they don't want to have this third and fourth or fifth or sixth party view upon the world, because they want to have everything shaped to the vision of left and right, is fucking horseshit. And a great example of that, speaking of Tennessee, is the bullshit that's happening right now in the Tennessee state.
Yeah,
there's no major news coverage covering what's happening in Tennessee.
What are you talking about, the Senate? Or are you talking about the Congress people?
Yeah.
I don't
terrifying.
Well, I don't understand. Like I said, I mean, I have the Tennessee Constitution, and I read the section, but I'm not sure.
Of course you have.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Tennessean, so I know. I mean, our state constitution is not that much different than the U.S. Constitution, but because the three members of the House, Tennessee State House, from my understanding, just disrupted the floor with a bullhorn and protesting on the floor. The thing is, though, is that it's one of those where you can read that section of the Constitution as because they're allowed to dissent, but it's I think it was referring to, if the bill on the floor, you're welcome to dissent as much as you want to, but the fact that they just interrupted any proceeding is it's one of those things where it can definitely be argued. I would be interesting to hear how this case or how it all pans out, but I don't know.
Yeah. I gotta give credit to the what the fuck are they? Gen Z? I don't even know what generation we're on now, but I gotta give them credit. They're badasses going out there and standing up for what they believe in, and I'm quite honestly proud of the youngest generation that we've seen so far. It's a good showing. On a lighter note, my daughter did. My niece did commit to University of Tennessee Knoxville this past week.
Nice.
She'll be going to school there in the fall.
So your
School of Architecture. What? My niece.
Your niece. Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good school. I mean, it's an interesting experience. She's definitely going to be wearing orange, the most hideous shade of orange.
Win a national championship.
She can do that safety dance.
Yeah. Well,
she's super excited.
That's always the joke, is that we dress our athletes in orange. That way, they're prepared to go to prison.
He said it. I don't know. Not whatever that means.
Anywho, hopefully that I don't think that banning the app of TikTok is remotely close to the right thing to do.
The thing about that is that it's like everything in the way that my brain works. In that, if you want to ban something, then prove why it should be banned. Don't just think, we need to ban it. You need to say
I'll tell you why it's happening.
Give me the case.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's why it's happening. The amount of money that is being lobbied from Facebook is sickening. So the idea and the reason why Facebook Shorts YouTube Shorts and Facebook Clips or whatever the fuck they have, I don't even know. There's a monumental difference between the platforms. Whereas with TikTok, the creators it's more advantageous for TikTok creators to make money on the app based upon viewership, clicks, the length in which somebody is viewing your content before they swipe, etc. When in comparison to Facebook, they pay out dramatically less money. YouTube pays out dramatically less money to the content creator. So the whole idea of all of these copycat TikToks, whether it's YouTube Shorts or if it's the Instagram part, which is also Facebook and the Facebook whatever, Facebook is trying to drive and YouTube is trying to drive the traffic away from TikTok because they want to be able to capture all that revenue from the users and not pay out to the content creators. and it's actually it's fucking disgusting, is what it is.
Yeah.
And the amount of money when like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, or a year, whenever the robot alien Zuckerberg was in Congress, and Congress was shitting down the necks of fucking Facebook like it was the worst second coming of Satan. They're welcoming the money now.
So
it's fucking scary.
It reminds me, and I mean, this is just a different parallel of a different media and a different time period, but because I just taught the history of comics, it's in my background here. So stick with me on this for a second. But the big two, what we know is the big two, DC and Marvel, right? But the whole hero genre, at some point people got tired of the hero genre in the mid 40s. They're kind of like, okay, been there, done that, what else you got? And so there was a lot more diversification of genres, including crime comics, like ripped from the headlines comics, and you had horror and terror comics. And those really took off because you had a generation that had grew up on comics and were like, hey, I went to war, and I want something gritty, By the way, at this point, like TV hasn't like taken over yet. I mean, it's on the verge, right? And radio's around, but this is just another media outlet of the day. Well, this guy writes this book, Seduction of the Innocent, which is all about the depravity and the horrible things that are in comics that corrupt youths. And this is what's leading to delinquency in minors and like all of these gangs and like rebel, kids that are just running the streets and, basically,
this is
delinquency.
The 40s?
This is in the 50s.
Oh,
so
50s.
This is like coming into the 50s. So out of the 40s and into the 50s, we get horror and terror comics. And this guy with the Seduction of the Innocent is basically saying it's these horror comics. Look at how awful these comics are. Oh, by the way, there's rape and, dominatrix, and there's, homosexuality and all of these things that we deem as inappropriate, right? So there's one comic company that's making bank on it at this time, which is EC, Entertaining Comics, which was formerly Educational Comics. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But EC was the main purveyor of Tales of the Crypt, right? That's where Tales of the Crypt comes from. And then there's two other big ones, Vault of Horror, I think. I can't remember the other one. But anyway, these comics were big at the time and they were making a lot of money, and they came before Congress and had a whole, rigmarole about like, okay, this is horrible. And how do you stand here accused, basically. And out of that, the comic companies came up with the Comic Code of Authority. Okay. So moving forward from 1954 onward, you had this stamp of approval that said, this is morality, we approve, right? But all of the companies just agreed to this comic code. Some of the companies like Dell, who published Walt Disney, they were like, fuck that. We just make kid books anyway. We don't need your comic code, right? But all of the other ones had to subscribe to it. Well, in the comic code, specifically worded, comics cannot use the word horror or terror, mainly targeting EC Comics, so that EC Comics is like wedged out of some of the money. I mean, this is a tale as old as time. I mean, we see this with companies trying to manipulate morality and using some type of a study to kind of prop up, why we need to take action now to suppress this thing. Right. So and the fear mongering.
Yeah, it even goes back to music, with the perennial whatever advisory stickers, in the 80s. It's like,
yep, exactly.
Fuck off.
Tipper Gore.
Tipper Gore,
right.
Yeah.
Same thing. Anyway,
I always
sorry to go on that tangent, but it just reminded me of that, Chris. Like that idea.
Well, that's how you say it. That is the time. It's always about you watch any political race. It's always fear. Yeah, they're going to do this. They're going to take this from you. They're going to do this to you. It's always fear.
I think that's why Dazed Confused it's a good movie. Like, there's a lot of good little sequences in that movie. And I always like it because they're trying to get Pink, the main actor, to sign this "I will not do drugs," in school, and it kind of gets forgotten about, in some of the movie. But I like that, Matthew McConaughey, towards the end of the movie, is like, the older you get, the more things you're gonna try to get you to do. You just got to keep living, man. And then the what was the other line? Oh yeah, I think some people are just afraid we're having too good of a good time or whatever. It's like, shut up. But
that's a good words to live by.
Yeah,
we all preach that we want freedom, but we only if you believe in our freedom.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is, people, just like you're saying, Jack, it's always about fear. It's like, what you're finding your comfort zone, but then you want other people, I don't know, like I see it from, you hate to say the word both sides, but it is like everyone wants everyone to live by their rules. And it's like, no, human beings are not that way. It's like, even things like with economics, people talk about economics about how, like, dude, you can't sit there and say, we're all going to be equal. I was like, because you're not even equal within your own family. It was like, you went to college, or this person didn't go to college, and then you have two different lives. It's not that's possible,
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and that's the thing, you can't talk logic with most people. They kind of get an idea stuck in their head, and they just want to jam it, and you're like, no. But, not to
I think probably social media has made it worse.
10 times worse, 100 times worse.
But you have to be. I think you also have to be smart enough to go, all right, that's just. I
mean, the problem is our country's not fucking smart enough. Our country's stupid.
Look, I'll see something, I'll go, what is that? And I'll just go, okay, fact check or Google. I go, okay, that's bullshit.
No, most people don't do that, Jack. That's the problem. People believe what they see in front of them.
I get it. I mean, that's why politicians, especially you look at the list of these people in office that are 80 years old. And they've been there for like 50 fucking years. I go, how?
And when you watch any of these hearings, whether it's the Facebook hearing, TikTok hearing, and you have to listen to people try to fucking explain what Wi-Fi signals are. It's like, you're in the wrong fucking place, guy. Like, what are you even asking questions for? Get the fuck out of here.
What?
One other thing, just real quick, since we're on this tangent of being upset about things that they're trying to
like suppress, the Mandalorian. Yeah, let's talk about.
No.
I haven't started yet, but you go ahead.
No. More important than that, though, I really want to touch on this because my governor just signed something.
I
took a fucking corn shit earlier today that I had better quality than that fucking episode.
I loved that episode, and shut your fucking mouth.
The best thing about?
Are you serious?
I am. I'm dead serious. I loved that episode.
Dude,
it's the best of the season.
Again, what's the best thing about corn shits? It comes out whole. But go ahead.
I was trying to make a point about something, but whatever. So my governor today, I don't accept him as my governor, but our Indiana governor decided to sign in. And this is happening across the country, is suppressing trans rights, and I feel like it's just some knee jerk kind of like stick your head in the sand. You think that by suppressing, people like gays or trans, you think that it's just going to go away or that these people don't exist, but they do, and they still exist. They've always existed. But the suppression of this is some just kind of ideological, backwards, like religious bullshit. And I'm just going to say that because it's just dumb. And
religion ruins everything.
Well, I mean, it's whatever they're using as their shield. It still doesn't beat do unto others.
Everything.
So,
because that's bullshit when they say that. I mean, I know some religious people they believe. I mean, they're good people. But there's a lot of religious people that hide behind religion just as a shield, so they can be a dick. There's some of the most asshole. I mean, I don't want to name names, but there's people that are just fucking assholes. But I go to church
in the name of God.
I go to church every week. I'm a better person than you. No, you're not. You're a fucking asshole. And I don't get, if they're not hurting you, why do you care?
John,
why do you care?
Says Chris is using his deep RCAD podcast voice. Yeah, it is. My voice dropped an octave this week. I don't know why. I don't know if it's long COVID or whatever it is, but like I've been talking like this for days.
I did like Miami Mike said, I see someone say touchdown or fumble on Twitter, and I always have to fact check it.
With what context? With what context?
Well, I think he's making fun of me.
Oh, I got that.
Fumble. Hey, as long as I'm
Anyway,
happy.
that's
Am I
what
hurting anybody with my tweets? No.
No.
So get off my back.
Did you ever get your account back? The original one that was okay.
Yeah,
Like, you never
back.
announced it. But.
Did you get a blue check yet?
Did you get blue? You paying $7?
No, I got $8. No, I got that back. I said something. I got it back.
Did you? Okay, I don't remember.
Almost probably about 6-7 months ago. What? No, when did Musk take over?
Probably about.
Whenever he took over, I got it back.
Really?
Yeah, I should have never had. It should have never been. It should have never been. I mean,
it happened right before it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
or right around the same time.
Well, he was coming back at.
Yeah, it was right around that.
Yeah, and I
long ago.
What
that
happened?
Was like
Freedom
20
of
news
speech
cycles ago. 250 news cycles.
You can. I used to say all the people. I mean, O.J. Simpson has a fucking account. I can't have one.
I know. We were podcasting with you through it.
Yeah. See. Well, I'm just stating a fact.
Well,
I've never killed anyone allegedly.
That's good, Jack.
Well, I make sure the gloves don't fit.
Allegedly.
So.
That speed bump in on the interstate was a scary day, but yeah.
Nick, like you, I went and saw
4 cameras.
John Wick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Saw John Wick last week.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie.
Yeah, it's good. It was not my favorite of the 4, but
it's got great reviews. I don't think it was amazing, but it's getting crazy good reviews. It was entertaining as hell.
It's entertaining. Yeah, that's what it is, and that's what those movies are. They're just pure entertainment. Yep. They're unbelievable, but pure entertainment. Yeah, I mean, this one to me though, plot wise, was probably the weakest of the 4 because this was the one to me that it felt like a video game movie. It was just one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And then the ending, which I liked, but I did, even though I love the Skarsgård family of actors, I felt that was the wrong casting for that role because he was, he's just kind of this little sniveling little whatever. I would have liked a better final boss at the end, even though I do love.
He's a Skarsgård?
Yeah, he's it. He's the guy that played it.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No shit. Get it?
No shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was time in which I don't mind spending that three hours in the theater because it was a long ass movie. But it was good.
Yeah, it was long. Yeah. But I mean, the thing is that you actually start laughing at some of the absurdities in that movie, like especially the stairs scenes, and then
they go jumbling down the stairs.
Yeah,
did you see that the post credit scene?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Interesting
take.
Yeah, she's probably dead.
No,
you think? But I wonder. Like, I can't remember the actor's name. But the blind guy. It's like, God, like, are you being
Star Wars?
Star Wars, yeah. It's like, are you being typecast as the blind guy? That,
Carl Weathers.
Yeah, Carl Weathers. Yeah, Billy D. Yeah.
So he is actually like a renowned stunt choreographer.
Yes. Yeah, but he's not really blind though. That's what really cracks me up. Is like he's played a blind guy twice now.
Wait,
yeah.
Should that be allowed?
That's true.
I actually was thinking about that, and truthfully, when I was saying
wait, hold on a second, Chris. What did Bill Burr say?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Thanks, Matt.
What?
No, Matt Treese said his name.
Oh, okay. All right.
Donnie Yen. Yeah. So I was thinking about that. Like I actually didn't know. Like, so seeing this is the second thing I've seen him in, but he's been in a few different things. But recently, like it was the from Star Wars to this. I was like, wait a minute, is he actually blind? And I'm like, if he's not, is that cool? should they have done that? Like,
it's called acting.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's called acting. There's certain things. Okay, yeah, there's a line. Like I watch the old westerns, and you have white guys playing Mexicans and all this different Indians and all this different stuff. Okay, that's
Devil's
wrong.
Advocate.
Devil's Advocate, yeah.
Miami Mike. Devil's
That's something
Advocate.
hard, Mike.
I feel like all of us are on 4 different conversations.
Well, we're listening to Jack, but then Miami Mike posed a trivia question, so our eyes immediately went to
Okay.
Yeah.
But before we go on with 6 more conversations,
wait,
that's right.
No,
let's take a commercial break.
Good idea.
Welcome back.
Well, Chris, do you want to do some shitting on Mando?
Dude,
Here, I'll take my views off.
did you not watch it yet?
No, I've seen it. I liked it.
Oh, fucking, of course you did.
Why? You guys?
He's on a podcast.
Several ones that I didn't.
I've never heard you criticize this show or any Star Wars.
I've criticized the last several episodes.
But dude, this episode, in my very humble opinion,
that's fine.
Like, honest to God, watching this episode made me feel like what they were doing was prepping for like a video game that I hope is never fucking made in the future for the Mandalorian. They just needed to have like a shit side quest for. Like, that's what this episode was. Like,
it's a buddy cop episode.
It was
you
a detective.
legitimately did not need
episode.
But it's the third to last episode. You didn't need fucking 45 minutes of bullshit for an excuse to put Lizzo, Jack Black, and fucking Doc Brown on the screen.
I liked all of their side quests. I liked all of the investigation. It was fun, and then I was along.
It was an episode of Clone Wars, and that's not what this show is.
It has always been an episode of Clone Wars.
No,
and you've just realizing it now.
No way.
Yes.
No, absolutely not.
It's always been Clone Wars.
45 minutes of this episode had absolutely nothing to do with the overall arcing of the story for Mandalorian.
Yeah, I did.
It was complete shit. And on top of that, the last 4 minutes is what the entire episode culminated with, and it was the most underwhelming fucking shit fight between two big bosses I've ever seen. That fight sucked. The episode overall was a hot steaming pile of shit, and I was disappointed
with corn in it. With corn in
this episode.
Yeah, with corn.
Absolutely fucking disappointed.
Night and day difference, because I felt like this entire season has been on weak sauce, and that with this episode, certain things start to kind of like culminate, and it actually pulled back certain events from episode 2, which was my maybe second favorite episode this season, and connected those things together in a unique way that
it had a huge opportunity to tie into the whole also unnecessary IG-88 fucking storyline that they decided to pull out of their asses and throw onto a goddamn script.
It would have been cool.
They had the opportunity to tie it to
if
this,
he was talking to the Ugnaughts, you know.
Yeah.
The Ugnaughts. I'm sorry.
That was neat.
Ugnaughts, best part of the episode.
Yeah, it's true.
No doubt.
I agree. I love the Ugnaughts.
I loved
I
loved the droid bar. I loved the fact that we had I loved the fact that we had Katie.
Come on, Matt. You led the droid bar?
Yeah, I did.
Honestly, I was watching. I'm like, they made a fucking droid bar.
You know what? I would have said, I don't serve your kind here. I don't serve your kind here.
The whole society is a direct democracy. So they voted on these things as a public. Right or wrong, and it's meant to be this weird dystopian kind of universe.
But the thing is, it was a cautionary tale of what not to do.
It was also a very Wonderland-esque experience.
I mean,
to me,
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like there were several Wonderland like references in it.
Yeah, I actually wrote that to Chris. I was like, this feels like Alice in Wonderland meets Guardians of the Galaxy with Men in Black production. Like it didn't feel right to me, as in just like
what you just said. Say that again. Say what you just said again. It was an Alice in Wonderland meets Men in Black.
Yeah.
Meets what?
No, it was Alice in Wonderland meets Guardians of the Galaxy with Men in Black production. You know, just like the weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Sounds like steamy corn shit.
Yeah, with candy corn shit. Yeah.
Is that the title of the episode?
Candy corn shit?
Sure.
No.
Or steamy candy.
As long as that is referring to the laws that are being thrown at transgender people and not the Mandalorian. I'm fine with it.
John, the retired guy, says I don't get too deep into the Star Wars episodes, but I did think the droid bar scene was just
fine. I don't care if you think it was silly. I loved it, and I was there for it.
They're being served fucking motor oil.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine. I loved it.
No, Jack, you laugh, but that's actually what the fuck the scene was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is it that you want?
Can I have a shot at STP? Okay.
I think it
did it still make STP?
It was unique and it was fun. And if that
they introduced fucking robot midichlorians, dude, it was so stupid.
for you and for a lot of other maybe people out there.
God.
Fine.
You want dice with that?
But what was
Did it play that?
What was interesting to me about the political part of it, you're saying like it's supposed to be a democracy or like they're whatever. That shocked the hell out of me, and that like as soon as they enter the orbit, they take control of the ship. I'm like, well, okay, that's the first time we've seen that. If you could do that, why can't the Empires go, oh, I'm going to take the Millennium Falcon over now. Let's just bring it in the dock.
This invention of a planetary tractor beam, like
right,
the ability to take over a ship.
Just because we haven't seen something doesn't mean that it exists.
Right.
Seriously, would we have to have everything regurgitated from all of the other movies? We can have new stuff.
I had a question.
I'm out.
I have a question for you, Star Wars.
I've got nothing else to say. And
I have a question.
Okay.
How did the Empire? Because I was thinking about the other day. They had the
How did Luke get his force?
No, wait. They had all these ships. They have all this. They have just tons of crap.
Yeah.
Where'd they get the money for all that?
They're stealing it.
Stealing from who? I mean,
slave labor.
Enslaved labor. Yeah.
Most people don't have any money. Right.
Well, they just take it. It's because it's all
just take it.
Yeah,
they mine other planets.
It's an empire.
Okay,
it's an empire.
Okay.
So like the colonial system, they just take.
All right. I just had to ask that because I'm thinking, man, their taxes must be high.
That's one of the things. Like that's one of the things that they were trying to do with the aesthetics of the prequel trilogy versus the original trilogy. Is that you look how everything is dirty and grimy in the original trilogy because it's supposed to be. They've all been colonized. Like no money is going into the system, whereas in the Republic system was shiny and new and clean because it's like people had their more freedom. But whatever.
The Emperor had
Matt. I'm sorry, Matt. Yeah, I think you're tired of hearing criticism.
I am because I really am.
However,
I think you guys.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Loved the last two episodes, and I was
guys.
I loved them. I think this season has been weak and it doesn't have it's kind of aimlessly.
Yeah.
However,
John I'm trying to read a comment from one of the listeners, and John says the Darksaber has to. Oh wait, here you can have it. like the transfer of the Darksaber was the most bullshit transfer of the Darksaber.
That part made sense to me because
2
of
seasons worth of dedicated to saying the only way you can get rid of this Darksaber is to kill the person wielding it. And they built the entire season around that. Only to go to Jack Black's playland.
Maybe it's because when I watched episode 2 and I saw what she did and how she used the Darksaber, and I realized, oh hey, she actually has inherited it now because she defeated this other creature with it. Mm-hmm. It made sense to me, and when they revealed it in this, it made total sense. It did.
Shit writing.
I actually love the fact that it connects to the episode.
Lazy writing.
So
yeah, I think it was lazy shit writing.
Congrats. Fine. I don't care. I enjoyed it. It is what it is. I've got nothing else to say about it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know. So what I was trying to say about
didn't kill Gideon. Fair.
I thought that was an interesting, almost just the system. I thought was an interesting cautionary tale, in that if you look at it from a certain point of view,
dollar.
Ooh, but nice you did there.
Like you look at like I'm saying, like how they go into the planet and then they take over their ship, and then when they get there, they just want to do what their own thing is. And so far for this democracy, though, they aren't. They have no freedom of will. They're just taken directly to Jack Black, and the Queen. And then you look also at like they're talking about how like the planet has become dependent on droid labor, and so it to me it was an interesting take of not really democracy, but really I don't know what to call it, but it's not. It wouldn't be. That's not really a democracy, but yet they were calling.
I got to agree with Nick here because he read the Tennessee Constitution. I got to back him.
Yeah. That's one of the neat things.
Matt's actually mad at me.
I have nothing else to say about it. I just
you were mad at me.
I was having.
I haven't seen it yet. So I can't take a side.
I don't think it was a shit episode. And I think that the whole plot of the Darksaber was laid out. It made sense. So I don't know. I don't. So I have nothing else to say about it.
Okay.
All right. So back to me reading the Constitution. I don't know if Tennessee still does.
Yeah, read the Constitution because it's probably more interesting than me being pissed off.
No, I don't know if the state still issues them or not, but they used to send these when you're young. It's the Tennessee Blue Book, and it tells like the history of the state of Tennessee as well as like who your representative is, and it's the Constitution of the United States as well as the state. So like it kind of, if you want to read it, it's really interesting.
That's how they.
Well, okay. To be fair,
that's how they brainwash you.
If it has history,
they send it out to all of the kids at a very young age before they can decide. They read that book and they're like, "I got it. I'm now."
Do they have in there?
It's not really brainwashing to read the actual Constitution. You know,
I don't know what's in there, man. I don't know what's
in there. Does it have in there that Peyton Manning? Does it have in there Peyton Manning never won a national championship?
No, this is before this. This was his junior year when this book was issued. So, how they write up 1865. Well, Tennessee was actually in the United States in 1865, so. It had already been taken over.
They didn't have a choice.
Yeah, the Tennessee was the only Confederate state that was not under the Reconstruction government system because it had already been occupied for the majority of the war anyhow.
You know, Indiana was the only Confederate state to be actually called the Union. So, and if you understand what I'm saying, Indiana is the most northern state from the South.
The Midwest is an interesting area for sure.
Is it?
Yeah, no.
Hey, it carried Parks and Rec for how many years? Their humor. It's true.
Yeah. Anyhow, I feel like we've just
Matt fucking hates me tonight.
He's just
I have nothing else to say. I don't know. Maybe I should just leave now.
Hey, we could talk about my Aztecs.
Or not.
I
don't get mad at college kids. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. They gave it their all.
It's heartbreaking. I mean,
I felt bad. These kids were so emotional after the game, but they just were going against a team that was better. I mean, they pulled within 5. I'm like going, oh, what, are they going to do it again? No. So anyway,
I remember when the Butler Bulldogs lost, and they were playing in Indianapolis, and they lost to some North Carolina shit team. Fuck those assholes.
Yeah,
It was heartbreaking. That game made me more.
Like I said, this wasn't even the best on paper. This wasn't even the best Aztec team of all time, right. And I'm like going, they're just overachieving. I mean, it's just beat at number 1 seeded Alabama. They were just playing great ball, but they just didn't match up well against UConn. UConn was just bigger and stronger.
What I thought was interesting about this year's tournament was that the traditional schools that you think of that are basketball schools, like none of them were hardly in the tournament this year. You know, there was no Duke, there was no Kentucky. It was like, what the hell?
Because there's more balance now, I think, because a lot of schools can go out and get the top players. They can. I mean, especially with transfer protocol, where people can say, because the coaches have been able to leave forever. Say, I can go here, I can go here, I can go here. But the players were always tied to that team. You know, they had to sit out a season. Now they don't have to sit out a season. They just go play wherever they want.
It's interesting. Like about 3 or 4 weeks ago, sports betting became legal in Massachusetts.
Wow.
And I have very intentionally not even looked at an app or downloaded an app to do so, because it's all like every app out there is targeting ads in every social media platform to, get your $100 bonus buy-in or $200 wherever it is.
Right.
I have so many people I work with that are flat out addicted to sports betting now. People are up, people are down. It's going to be a bad thing for people in the state. Great for the state from a tax perspective, but it's really real bad for people who can't handle their sports betting and gambling.
It's tough because it gets addicting. I mean,
yeah.
But I've never been one of. I had a bookie one point, but I was like $100-something up. I put it all on the Chargers on the Super Bowl, getting 18.5 points. They couldn't even cover the 18.5 points.
I saw a funny short video today. I should have sent it to you guys. It was like, what if Forrest Gump had been made in this past decade? And like the only ones I remember was like, I went to the Super Bowl And there was this old man playing quarterback, Tom Brady, you know. And then it said, what was the other one that was real funny? Oh, it was like, and then Jenny wrote me and said she got a job at a fan factory because it says only fans. So I guess that's all they sell. You know, that's good. You know?
I learned something a while ago that Tom Hanks, his voice is the kid, because that's how the kid spoke. The young Forrest Gump. That's how he spoke. Because they kept saying, "How are we gonna get this kid to talk like you?" He goes, "How about if I talk like him?" And so he got like hundreds of cassette tapes, he said, and learned to talk like the kid. Kid was from Mississippi, and so what he did is he learned to talk like the kid.
Huh.
And so he goes, that would be perfect as Forrest Gump. So instead of changing the kid around, let me do it. And so that's how he came up with the voice. It was.
Now, how did they get that much tape of the kid? Like, and what is he talking about the whole time?
Well, what he did, Tom Hanks would spend time talking with him and record the conversation.
Oh, okay.
And so he would practice his voice, and that's how Jenny. And so that's how he would get the.
He's just like, say this word again and again.
I don't like the Mandalorian. So something like that.
Really, Jack? I mean,
too soon?
I just don't want to talk about it anymore.
Anyway, I learned that. I thought it was fascinating, and I thought I would share that with the world today.
That was great. A+.
That's all I got. I'm out.
What? We all work on at least
you guys
a half an hour's worth of material before we come to the show. Everybody got their notes, right?
I just wing it. Shit. Anyway, so I started rewatching. Better Call Saul now because after I finished, I was like, well, might as well rewatch it again because I was happy to see that now on Netflix it says that season 6 will be released on Netflix April 18th or 17th, so I can finally watch the last season of Better Call Saul. But it is funny now that I'm rewatching it, you know, after seeing Breaking Bad, like how much other stuff I'm picking up because it's like as you're watching it, not knowing Breaking Bad, it's like you just accept it for what it is.
Didn't we tell you to watch Breaking Bad first?
You guys told me to watch Breaking Bad first, but I said no. I want to actually do the Star Wars method. Like, what if I start with the prequels before I went to the original trilogy to do an experiment? And I liked it. I liked watching it first. You know, like we said last week. You know, Machete could like watch season 1 through 5, then watch Breaking Bad, come back and watch season 6 of Better Call Saul. And I think it's great. I mean, the way I did it. I know some people would not agree with me. Probably mad or
I'm not going to agree with you just for the sake of it.
Yeah, cool.
I'm sure Chris doesn't agree with you, but I'm going to take the non-agreement point.
You're taking the dick approach of just like whatever you say.
Exactly.
I'm
going to take the opposite side.
Yeah.
Your take is a steamy pile of corn shit.
Exactly.
And you're entitled to it. I still haven't seen Better Call Saul. Personally.
Oh, it's good. Actually,
it's like really, really good. I only finished 3 seasons, but
seasons 1 through 3, like I said, I think are really great because the story there is that he is really just he's been shit on by his brother his entire life, and like in some ways he's trying to seek his brother's approval, but his brother hates him in a way, even though his brother takes care of him. He takes care of his brother, and it's just this back and forth, and then
his brother has phobias. He doesn't like light.
Electricity.
Electricity. That's what it is.
It's
not. But to be fair, I think he sees the potential in Saul, but Saul takes the easy way out.
And that's what it is.
And that's what his brother doesn't like. He knows that Saul is probably a better lawyer than he is.
Yeah, I think.
Saul takes the easy way out.
It's a combination of two things. Yes, like his brother, because his brother is older than him, than Saul. He worked hard his entire life to get where he's at, and he's successful.
Chris Dorn says, I thought it went downhill when Saul took the Darksaber from his brother Jimmy.
In combat.
Chris, I think what you're missing there is the
motor oil.
The subtle plot point. I love okay. This is going to be the rest of the night. We're just going to talk.
Nah.
In fact, next week, we're just going to come back to it again. So,
You know what?
I got a different episode by then.
I'm gonna catch up on it so I can talk about
We
it.
did.
Yeah, sure. You catch up on it, except skip the corn shit episode. Apparently,
Yeah, they
Highly
did.
recommend.
Speaking of weird corn shit, they did prove that Grogu is a whore for food once again. Yeah, just
Oh my
leaps into
God.
her arms.
quit spoiling
And
Jack.
why-
John,
why-
the
and
John the
why
retired
did
guy
Gro-
says,
why
I
did
heard
Grogu-
Frankenstein had a phobia about electricity.
Why did Grogu get knighted? He didn't do anything. Like what the
He's
hell?
cute as fuck.
He is curious about like he didn't deserve a knight.
They want to sell
You
sell
don't-
more merchandise.
you
You
don't
new to Star
know.
Wars?
Yeah.
You don't know what he did for Lizzo.
Yeah, in the behind the camera scenes. Okay, you
You saw him using the Force.
Uh-huh,
You know
gotcha.
what's up,
Mhm.
and that's going to pay off, just
Uh-huh.
like this is paid off.
Shit. What was I saying? But yeah, like
Like, I'm fucking disappointed in Jack Black. Like, I love that.
We're never going to get past this, so
He
I
hasn't
guess
worked.
we
He
can
hasn't
just
worked.
call
He
it.
hasn't worked in a while, right?
I know.
no, he's been doing the Jumanji movies.
And also,
Exactly.
if you reach a certain point of money, like,
Yeah,
He did King Kong.
that's like 2005.
I know, but where's Jack Black been? He did the School
Okay,
of Rock
okay.
and then disappeared.
what have you done? You know,
It's true, Jack. Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, I'm
I did a
saying
200
I did it.
episodes
Jack
of
Black,
RCAD,
Jack
baby.
Black
Yeah.
makes his money. He makes his money, and he's like, I'm good. I can just make doodly doo music.
what do you think
right?
I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing with the money I'm making on this podcast?
Not doodly doo music.
I don't. Well, I'm not.
Because
I'm not
Nick's-
musical. I
Nick's
don't have
not.
music.
So, and I'm not producing. So, all you're coming up with is the scary mask pictures behind you. You look
Well,
like
That is a bit scary one. Yeah.
That's a goalie before they had the mask in the
Oh. I thought that was the guy that Chris hit.
NHL. That's why they went to the mask.
You're giving some credit on that one, dude. Thank you.
I was thinking it looked like somebody from Dick Tracy.
Right.
Randy's saying Jack is making big bucks babysitting.
All of that 401k plan
Yeah.
with those kids.
I'm probably going to be
401 kids. That's
the IRS is probably going to come after me because I think I'm making like $2,000 a month doing this. So it's actually I figured out that it's costing me probably $2,000 a month. Fucking baby food's expensive. Jesus, that formula.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Groceries in general are
Yeah.
expensive.
It's about to go up
Like,
even
I was-
more.
Dude,
There's no inflation.
Like, I know this is gonna be your typical old man, yelling at the wind moment. But
Old man,
like,
take a
when
look
I
at
walk
my
in, and it's like
life. I'm
it's
alive.
$4 plus for one tube of Pringles.
Yeah. That's
What?
nuts. Yeah. Everything.
Well, like a bag of Ruffles, they say family size. What, a family of one?
Yeah. Or
It's a bag of-
you'll get a family of party size too.
Yeah, party size.
Yeah.
It's like it's become. Randy said, "Just feed them."
Those
corn."
become the regular bags now, like the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you go and they've gone up.
Yeah.
It's like
Everything's gone up.
$5.99 for. I go for what?
Mhm.
So I try and buy because we go to Wegmans. I'll buy the Wegman chips.
Well, yeah,
They're a lot
heck,
cheaper.
a 12 pack of soda is $7.99.
No
For
shit.
a 12-pack. Yeah,
Yeah, for a 12
yeah,
pack.
you're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I always look, at either grocery or Walmart, because sometimes they'll do like, three. If you buy three, it's $5 a pack or $4 a pack. So like I'll do that, and just stock up. But it's just like it's just nuts. It's about to go up even more because now that Saudi Arabia announced that they're cutting 500 million gallons a day now, like oil's
What are
gonna
the
go up.
droids going to drink?
Good one, Jack.
What will they?
Yeah. So inflation's gonna continue to go up.
Yeah, it's. I hate going to the grocery store.
It's the
I'll
worst.
sit there, I go, fuck, how much for this? I mean, I'm not. I go through the whole store going, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? And people just look at me because I'm an old man. So it's just like, I remember when we had ration stamps. Anyway,
Mhm. Government issued cheese.
yeah, government issued cheese.
Matt Foley.
Oh shit! What else was I gonna say?
Back in World War II, they had with those gas stamps and something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Droid oil is 20 credits now.
You don't even want to know what death sticks are.
Death sticks. Death sticks.
And even candy bars are more expensive. I mean, just you look at the price, you go, "What the fuck?" Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. Don't mess with Texas.
Bad Batch was pretty good though, Matt. What'd you think of that?
What? Bad
Batch.
Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch is a cartoon, Star Wars cartoon, and it was a two-parter. I had the first part last week, and then the second part was this week, and it was.
Did you watch it?
They was both released last week. Both.
Oh really?
Released.
Well,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Was there one today released?
You gave yourself an artificial wait.
They released.
You forced yourself to wait a week to watch this part.
They released the last two.
They couldn't get over the.
Okay. Well, then I just wasn't paying attention then. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I thought that was good.
It finished strong. Yeah. So I'm
little twist there at the end. Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because I was like, I knew there was a relationship there because I had heard the accent from like I mean, it's really subtle, but it's in the episode prior to that, and you're like, wait a second, and I was starting to kind of like suspect some things, but no, I'm excited about the two characters that are now in a certain place, and seeing them and what can happen with that storyline. I'm being very general.
You really think the one character is gone?
I don't think so. I think
no way they kill off Bugs Bunny.
Right.
I mean, it really did kind of pack a punch though. So it'd be interesting, like if we come back and we still don't know for 5 episodes or something like that, what has happened. So that they kind of leave us. But again. A lot of fans dissed the tsunami episode this season, and I actually really loved that whole episode.
Chris, what say you?
So because it was something that was standalone and it didn't deal with like we always got to fight the Empire. We're always fighting this stuff. You need a moment for this thing to breathe and to have space and for the characters to live. And I loved that for that.
Yeah, moment. I mean, I agree that that you definitely breathe their episodes, but I liked the idea, the concept of them getting possibly getting a home.
A home.
But some of it, I'm always on the fence when it comes to, how many Clone Wars episodes do we get where it's there's a planet of these really rural species and we have to save them, It's like, and so sometimes I'm kind of like,
But they weren't really like needing to. I mean, they had to. I'm just saying, there was the threat wasn't there. It was a natural kind of disaster, which felt actually, if anything, more real than fighting the Empire or some other bad guy or some other monster that we've never seen before.
Right.
It's actually quite unusual to see heroes in Star Wars to battle any elements just naturally. I mean, we saw it in Empire. But we also saw a whole war take place on Hoth. So, for the most part, they're just kind of coexisting with their environment. So,
cool. I know one thing I wanted to bring up because we didn't talk about it because Chris was gone. I know that Chris finished the show I recommended, the Kaminsky Method. I mean, they were talking.
Oh, Ted Lasso, yeah,
and Ted Lasso as well. We could talk, but the Kaminsky Method because I know Chris finally finished all 3 seasons of that, and then I haven't finished today's episode. Ted Lasso, but
really okay.
I haven't started tonight's episode of Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's a point watching with the wife.
Yes. That I was fortunate enough. I came home from work and we all just kind of sat down to watch both shows and got to enjoy those. So, but I've enjoyed Ted Lasso this season quite a bit.
I mean, if this is
how can you not enjoy it?
I think this is the end. I mean,
well, it's definitely. I think they've said it's the. At least for this cast, it's probably the final. But I still say because I felt so bad for Ted Lasso last week.
Oh my God! Yeah.
When he called. And,
yeah.
I don't want to spoil people, but it's like my
God. The wedding counselor, his marriage counselor.
Yeah, and then you have what's the name of the star player? Drago.
Zava.
And it's just like he's just so amazing. And I get Chris, you were saying there's no way they could go from first to worst, but I think it's gonna. I still
They
think
did an interesting fast forward in the episode, right? I don't know if you guys caught that. They did a real interesting 6-week fast forward of now he's Zava's been part of this team for 2 months. You know what I mean? So it's interesting how they did that, but they went the opposite direction than I thought, and they're top of the rankings right now. That's cool.
Yeah,
and I like he's still about himself, but I like how Jamie is going to work with
Poopus. It's lit a fire, which is cool. So we can see those characters grow. So
if you guys
fuck off,
I don't know, have followed Premier League football or football, my gosh, I'm American, Premier League soccer, or MLS soccer over the last couple of years ago, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who's a soccer player. So he used to play for Manchester United. He played for a couple of teams. He came over to MLS and played for LA Galaxy for a bit. But I'm assuming that they drew from him for this character.
Let me. Max actually said it is.
You said that last week, and I couldn't.
Max actually said it's a combo of two different characters. Abrama, would you say? What was his name?
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, Ibrahimovic and Cantona.
Okay.
So he's a mix between those two actual soccer players is the character.
Yeah. But the attitude and the sass and the you're welcome type of thing. Like Zlatan is the dude who, when he came to play for LA Galaxy, at the end of his Premier League career, he came to retire in the United States to play for American League Soccer.
Who's he, Pele?
LeBron James sent Zlatan a jersey to welcome him to Los Angeles. And Zlatan fucking signed it and sent it back to him.
Nice.
That's legitimately what he did. He actually signed the jersey and sent it back to LeBron.
That is awesome.
He's an absolute character. He's like a WWF character playing soccer, but without the physicality. But
I'm sure LeBron James was hurt, but because he has a major ego, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I was going to say it's San Diego's close to getting a men's team because we have the San Diego Wave, which is a female team, and they're drawing 30,000 people a game. I have Alex Morgan. You guys know Alex Morgan, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she's on the team and a Padre fan. So, yeah, if they can get 30, I'm not diminishing women's soccer, but that's a lot of fans.
The U.S. women's.
Oh, they're much better.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they're
and
fun to
Women's
watch.
World Cup is coming this summer, so looking forward to that.
It's more actually. I enjoy watching the Women's World Cup more than the Men's World Cup. If that makes
it's why I enjoy watching women wrestle more than men. I'm not trying.
Are you talking about? Are we going back to the oil thing with the droids?
No, the wrestling. The wrestling.
Oh,
wrestling.
WWE. Oiled up wrestling. Yeah.
Oil up. That used to be a thing, oil wrestling.
Yeah.
Mud wrestling, oil wrestling.
It's all there.
Anyway, I'm hoping San Diego gets a professional soccer team.
Oh,
it would be nice.
I think it would succeed too. In San Diego,
well,
a good place to have it.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
You would think.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you have people that would come up to watch, and then,
they're right along the Mexican border.
It wouldn't work in Indiana.
No. San Diego soccer is back in the indoor soccer. Won 11 championships in 12 years. More than the Patriots ever won.
I don't think soccer would work in Boston either. Because people like to fight in Boston, and too many people flopping on the ground.
Just be rugby
in soccer. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Chris would hit someone in the stands in a soccer game and mess him, and the guy would go, "Ah!"
Yeah, yellow card, red card.
The guy would be like, "Ah."
Read Miami Mike's quotes here. I thought Chris.
Yes. I'm sorry. These are the Zlatan quotes. So, did you buy your fiance a present? What do you mean present? She got Zlatan. Or one time, he goes, a journalist asked Bosnian basketball player Nihad Dedovic if he was related to Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Dedovic said, "No, my father's never been to Sweden." Zlatan replied, "But my father has been to Bosnia." he's just a badass. He's an absolute entertainer. The guy's amazing. He's hated by many people, but he's funny as hell.
Well, as long as he's
do
happy.
you
right?
think Zlatan is a influence or an inspiration for Zava, the character?
Yeah,
of Zava?
I think you said
That,
that.
yeah, that's absolutely like 1,000%. Like he even looks like him. It's kind of funny.
Okay. I'm curious to see how the character will play out this season, but so glad we got so much more Ted Lasso to go. So
Yeah,
going to be sad when it's over.
I bet he doesn't make it through the season. Yeah, I bet he leaves. You know, that would be my prediction.
I've been saying that for a while. I think he's been saying, he's basically said it. I think he's gonna go back to Kansas City. Is that where he's from?
Oh
Kansas
no,
City?
I meant Zava. Like,
Zava, yeah.
I think Ted Lasso leaves before the season's over.
I think that when they actually need Zava to be a team player for once and try something different, he's going to resist, and it's going to cause a lot of friction between Ted and him. And I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing here, but that's.
Well, I think that's where Jamie. becomes the.
I think there's also a potential. Yeah. I really think in this episode too, they were setting up this aspect of. Oh, never mind. I can't talk about this week's episode. Fuck.
Well, maybe Roy Kent comes back and plays.
I was like, oh,
Roy's
gonna say something, but
I don't know.
Anyway,
well, didn't Roy like pop his knee in that last time he played? Like he.
Yeah. No, I
think he has surgery. You can put a Band-Aid on it.
Put some dirt on it.
Yeah.
Poopy.
Love that you fucking said that. Poopy. My family, we've talked about.
Oh yeah, just like the sewer. Yeah, you get to live. Just let it flow.
It's where like the poopy goes. It's where the poopy goes.
Poopy.
Why'd you bring us here?
Poopy.
Oh,
that was a pretty elaborate system, wasn't it? I mean, it was pretty.
I was expecting the pink slime to be coming.
I was thinking a little more like the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh,
maybe that boat would come through and.
No idea where you're going.
Let's go get that everlasting gobstopper. God damn shit.
Wow, I thought this episode was shitty before.
I want some fizzy lifting drink.
Tune in
would you drink the fizzy lifting drink? It was shit, but you could fly in the air.
I am out. Sure. I am totally out on this. This is like you've taken this in a really gross.
Oh come on! It's a gross. It was in the show. Ted Lasso.
Wait, that's a valid question though. Would you take the fizzy drink if you had shit when you did it?
If you knew it was just from shit.
Oh, if you knew it was from shit. No. You
wouldn't fly. One time you could fly. You got to drink the shit, and you can fly.
No.
I would do it.
Nope. One time, no.
I would do it.
Does the same rules to apply? So you have to burp in order to come back down. So then you just burp.
Just burp.
No. You have to fart. You have to fart.
Could you imagine the smell of the fart produced from you eating shit?
If you look closely,
I think we broke Matt this week. By the way,
if you look closely, you can see the wires on Charlie.
Oh yeah,
around. I mean, you see it on his. I go, come on, man. We're not even trying to hide it.
I mean, to be fair, Jack, you don't have to look closely. They're plain as day.
I think even though I love the original. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's a classic, but it's definitely those. There's so many times where I've debated on that movie of like, his grandparents are like 60 years old and he hasn't gotten up in 40 or was it 20 years. So he basically got to 40 and said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna lay in the bed." And that room stunk.
It did. God, yeah. I mean, is Charlie changing the diapers?
Yeah.
Wait, there's no golden ticket. There's no golden ticket here.
Yeah.
Fucking gross.
Grandpa Joe, when was the last time we changed your diaper? Whoa.
Then he hops his ass up out of that bed pretty quick at the chance to go to a candy shop.
Well, free candy. I can give that everlasting gobstopper that's made out of wood. That's why it lasts forever. It's fucking wood.
Yeah. He doesn't want to take his mom. Not his mom who makes the cabbage and does the laundry and works her ass off. No, I'm going to take Grandpa Joe.
Well, she's got to keep. Hold on a second. To be fair, she has to keep working. What does Grandpa Joe have to do? Yeah. Eat shit. That's it. Eat shit, pee. That's all he's got to do.
I think it's official. Episode 204, we broke the show. We had a good run. We survived COVID, but we couldn't get.
Who's your favorite kid? Other tthan Charlie, who's your favorite kid on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
TV kid.
Yeah, probably.
TV kid.
Mike
TV Mike.
Oh.
Mike TV.
Mike.
I don't know. I mean, they're all horrible, but yeah, probably.
Not Augusta. Oh, I'm
Nobody
gonna eat the
likes
chocolate.
Augusta.
No.
Augustus.
I guess I'd go Veruca Salt, at least just for that band name.
Yeah,
So.
that's good. Yeah, she also has the best song too. The I Want It Now. That's.
I met the guy that played her dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was in San Diego. I was in Pacific Beach. I think he lived there.
Mm.
And I kept looking at him and went, where do I know this guy from? I go,
Living off the royalties.
I talked. We were outside a taco shop or something like that. And I was talking to him.
Oh. Nice.
And he goes, yeah, it was real shit as they were going through this.
Well, I'd always read that scene, the boat
Just
scene,
when you brought Matt back into the conversation, you were trying to push him right back out. I've learned two of Matt's real soft spots this week: the
Which
Mandalorian and shit.
No, I just.
I think he's done with the Mandalorian. I think that's what pushed him over the top. Come on, everyone talks about shit.
What else have we watched this week? What else
I've been watching Perry Mason. I gotta
He's-
say, I'm not as excited about season 2 as I was season 1.
Oh, that's right there. I was like,
It's good. It's good, but I'm struggling. I'm watching it. It's good. It's entertaining. It's good writing, but I'm struggling with the whole thing. If that makes sense.
Miami.
Is there a dark saber?
right. I read an interesting piece of trivia that I didn't know Matt and Chris might, and maybe even Jack. Like, I always liked the 1985 movie Clue.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Love that movie.
Jack would not like this then.
But
I
I didn't know that originally Carrie Fisher was going to play Miss Scarlet, but she was in rehab, so she had to back out of the role.
No shit.
Okay.
All right.
I just thought that
You know what I learned today?
I saw Clue once. That's it.
I love Clue. It's so good. Yeah.
Here's an interesting bit of trivia that I learned today: that we are all older than Bill Lumbergh was when Office Space came out.
Damn.
Wow.
He was 41.
Wow. Well, that's what I said that to you the other day
Bill
about
Lumbergh?
Tom Hanks.
Is he the guy
Lumbergh
that?
fucker.
Lumbergh Yeah,
Boss.
Peter. I'm gonna have to ask you to come in on Saturday. Right.
Well, that's what I said. Like I got a big fuck you
Band
from
of Brothers
Chris
guy.
about about Tom Hanks. It's like, man, it's like we're older than Tom Hanks now in fucking Saving Private Ryan. It's like,
Yeah.
damn.
Fuck you.
That
made me depressed.
Yeah.
It is weird when people post that. They say, when they show a show that was, we watched as a kid, and then they say, okay, those guys are now 60. And you gotta go,
right.
Fuck, I'm old.
I constantly in my history class had to keep talking about things that happened in the 80s and 90s that I lived through.
Right.
And it was weird because it was like, okay, you guys weren't even alive,
Wait
at all. So I'm just having to
Even better,
the
the dad from Family Matters was 36 during that show from Miami.
The cop from Die Hard?
Yeah. He was young.
And now he's in those commercials as the dad guy.
Yeah.
Dad from.
Wow. That's wild.
Oh, by the way, Matt, you'll be happy to know Cindy finally said, hey, fuck it. Because she was watching all these shows on Hulu. Suddenly it became no commercial. We're commercials.
Oh, nice.
I was watching the episode of MASH. I go, wait, where are the fucking commercials? And Cindy goes, oh, I forgot to tell you. I couldn't take it anymore. I go, oh, now that I'm almost done with MASH.
I couldn't take it anymore. Did you tell her that I offered to pay?
I did. I told her that. She goes, Matt's not paying for us not to have commercials. We're just not going.
It's not like I'm Rockefeller over here. I just take it out of my Patreon money. Like, just have.
She said, no, we're not
aside.
taking Matt's money. He earns it. He defends the Mandalorian. There's no way we're taking Matt's money.
I don't look. I will call.
That would be a real shitty thing to do.
I will call bullshit on aspects of all of these other episodes. This episode was just fun to me, and I enjoyed it. But there is.
Wait, are you still talking about Mandalorian again?
Yeah.
Don't even fucking get me started.
I haven't
said
said a
I
word about it.
5 days a week.
Matt Tree said I'm a few weeks away from
Food in my
outliving
pig's
Martin
mouth.
Luther King.
I don't
Wow.
have
Crazy.
Holy
dick.
shit!
He was in his
I've already-
40s though when he died too.
I've already done it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's when like I know I said that when I turned 40, and when actually a month after I turned 40, I was like, okay, I've lived longer now than John Lennon. Like it was just that was
Well,
so.
you know, it's,
Yeah.
you know, going to sports, you see, you know, when the sons of somebody, you know, I remember watching King Griffey Sr. play baseball.
Mhm.
So when his son came, this dude's been retired for like 10 years. And I go,
Yeah.
okay, I saw his dad. I saw King Griffey Jr. And he's been out of baseball for what, at least 10 years, maybe longer. I go, fuck, how old am I?
Right.
Yeah, there's a clip I saw the other day. It was I don't know who the basketball player was, but it was somebody's playing against LeBron James in his first game against LeBron James, and he walked up to LeBron, and it was like his first NBA game. He goes, "Hey, my dad played against you." Yeah, but so that's weird for LeBron, no question. But like I've always thought of LeBron as the fucking 18-year-old kid from high school playing in the NBA,
right?
Because that's what it was like when he came. Like that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, we were in college. Yeah, and it was a big deal. Like, oh, the first like 18-year-old kids go directly to the NBA, and then like, yeah, I always think of him as a young guy because he's younger than us, but he's old as fuck, you know, compared to all the
right, crazy.
Some of us just don't compare ourselves to ages of others. You know, we just live our lives, never thinking about the fact that
How can
George Harrison was whatever age he was. I mean, that dude, I mean, come on. Like, he can't, I don't know. To me, that's like George Harrison.
Well, I'm not going to compare myself to
George. Yeah, that's so weird. Because, like, to me, I every time I think of George,
Ringo,
especially, because, like, well, George was 26 years old when the Beatles broke up.
Yeah.
And then you're
26.
like,
you have the rest of your fucking life.
Right. You know.
What am I going to do now?
Most of us are just like, what am I going to do? I'm out of college. Money spent. I see no future.
Right.
Fuck inflation. Anyway.
I was quoting the Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah, like I actually saw it was pretty neat. I had to be a few years after John had died, but it was a video of Paul listening to "Beautiful Boy," and you could see him start to whelp up listening to it because I knew that Paul had said that's one of his very favorite John songs, but you know, but like it was just like he probably hadn't listened to it in a while, and then someone was, you know, it's just like, well, it's like because you know he's thinking of John and just what could have been. It's
a really sweet song too, just to even think about, you know, if you have a son or what have you.
I watched an old interview of on YouTube with Pete Best on David Letterman. And it was kind of awkward because it was probably the wrong setting. They were laughing at things that they shouldn't have been laughing at, but it was. You sit there and listen to you go, and I always go, when I think of Pete Best, I go, God damn! I mean, how do you go on from that? I mean, you have to have
right.
Sadly, he's the only Beatle that I've ever seen.
You saw him in concert?
I did. He came.
Nice.
He came
Nice.
to Fountain Square back in like 2002 or 2003 maybe, 2, something like that. He came through and played with a band. So
the worst part was he went to the office of what was the manager's name of the Beatles?
Oh, Brian Epstein.
Oh yeah,
Brian Epstein. He went in there and he got fired, and the other 3 Beatles, never said anything to him.
Yeah, well, he just wasn't the right.
Yeah, but they never said anything to him again. And there was times that he was in another band opening up for the Beatles. They would they'd walk right by him without saying anything. I go, damn. And they grew up together.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
They all grew.
That's cool.
He knew Ringo. He knew all these guys, and it's just like.
I think
I had always heard the rumor, and Nick, maybe you can correct me on this, but that Pete Best actually got more action.
Oh yeah, I'd read that.
Yeah,
too.
And that
John didn't like it.
Yeah,
that's from Pete Best. He says that, you know, he didn't say in this interview, but I've heard other interviews where he said they were jealous because I was better looking.
Well, wouldn't you say that though if you got cut from the Beatles? Well, they were jealous of me because I was.
Well, I remember. I think Paul said in '96 or '97, he was the one thing he was happy about the anthology series being released is that Pete got paid a lot of money.
Yes, he did.
So it was like, it was the longest payday ever to get to the payday.
That's how he could tour and I could see him.
Yeah. But still, you're Pete Best. You were part of the Beatles just a month before they took off.
Hey, Paul, let's steal all of Clarence's ideas. Do you remember the Eddie Murphy SNL?
Yeah,
hey, Paul, let's steal Clarence's ideas.
I remember that. Yeah.
This is one of my.
I guess fame is not everything in money, but it's just like, God, the Beatles will always be remembered. Oh, yeah. Always. As long as the Earth is still here, they will always, and Pete Best, nobody will remember Pete Best, but they'll remember the Fab Four.
Well, I mean, that's what's sad is that there's a whole lot of young people today. Like I remember,
all they know is Yoko Ono, and you're like,
they know Yoko, but no, it's like
that is not her best song.
The look on Chuck Berry's face, he's like, what the
what the fuck is going on here? What are you fucking doing to me, John? I can't get laid if she doesn't sing.
John's like, I still gotta fuck her, man. Come on.
I'm high as a kite. It sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's if you listen to "Don't Let Me Down," I think, or it's one of the Let It Be songs.
Fuck me over.
You can actually hear at the very end of the track her doing it, going like, but like thank God, whoever's the engineer like turned it all the way down. But it isn't. It's very faint, but you can hear it.
This one goes to -11.
And yeah. Matt Treese, and knowing what Chuck Berry was into.
His career was started with Marvin Berry. Right?
I was surprised. I was surprised to there was a interview on the Dana Carvey and David Spade podcast with Garrett Morris. And I was surprised to learn like he was addicted to cocaine like way into like the aughts. Like he was battling his cocaine addiction all the way. I mean, that long, so it was, I think he didn't kick it until like 2009. No, like I don't think he kicked it until like 2009 or something late into the aughts. You're like, holy shit, man. And you're still alive.
Yeah.
So
he never got the exposure on Saturday Night Live he should have.
Well,
it was an all-star cast, but
he even talks in the in that interview. You can check it out. But I think he mentions like how he didn't go to a lot of the after parties because he had like basically 2 girls waiting for him and a bunch of cocaine after the show was over.
Oh, nice.
So that was he wasn't really hanging out, and the only time Belushi ever came around was to get cocaine, or to see if he had any, and
what actor?
So,
who?
What's up?
Garrett Morris.
Garrett Morris and John Belushi, because they were on SNL together. And,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, that original cast is a who's who of television.
Mm-hmm. Well, and just even the whole saga with Chevy, and everything that happens with that. The Chevy interview on the Dana Carvey, David Spade, it's the Fly on the Wall podcast. That one is pretty interesting because Chevy is just so lucid in some ways. Like he's just kind of, and at some point his wife mentions that he had a stroke, and so there's some things that he's not remembering.
He's not. I saw him on Bill Maher's podcast.
He was still funny though. I mean, it's like it's he still had that spark and that wit, but he would say things and you're like, whoa, what are you? Yeah. So that's a.
Well, I remember seeing something where he was talking about the fight he had with Bill Murray. After the thing, and he goes, Bill Murray. He goes. I did boxing. Chevy Chase. He goes, I did some boxing. He goes. So basically, he said he kicked Bill Murray's ass, but he goes because Bill Murray can be a dick too. It's like whose side do you take? I mean, everyone loves Bill Murray, but Bill Murray can be an asshole too. So.
Sure. There's definitely mixed fan experiences with both.
I mean, I love Chevy Chase. I know he can be a dick, but
it's different. Like it's like all the Star Wars actors I've met at conventions. Like the only one I never liked was Peter Mayhew. All the other ones just and like everyone who who actually knows Peter Mayhew said that like he's like one of the best guys, you know. But like both experiences I was around, and I guess it's just because he's English or something. But he was just
and he knew you were from Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I've never read the Tennessee Constitution.
But when he would listen to you, what you're saying, but he was, I don't know if it's just like maybe it's proper English people do. Every time you say, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you, what are you doing? You know, and he was just, to me, he felt he was very short. You know, like he just kind of like, I don't really care what you have to say.
He's really tall, man.
Do you think sometimes, do you think sometimes those actors are like going, I can't believe I'm doing this?
Miami Mike, who you're referring to as an asshole.
He's referring to Peter Mayhew.
It could be Chevy though. I don't know.
Oh,
sure.
Anyway, but yeah, like every Star Wars actor I've met, it's been great. I'm actually thinking about going down to the Denver convention this July because Hayden Christensen is going to be there. And
really?
They're actually going to. Chevy actually will be there too.
Really?
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase will be there.
Really?
As well as like 3 actors from The Office and
I wonder who from The Office.
Christopher Lloyd's going to be there. Oh, it's
Marty.
It's
I never go yell at him for me.
Huh?
What's up?
Go yell at Christopher Lloyd for me.
It's Stan the Man.
Stanley?
Man. Oh yeah, Stanley. Okay, yeah.
You're talking about The Office?
Yeah, The Office. Yeah, but Stanley is going to be there, as well as the one that always the actress that always flashes one or the other.
Oh yeah, Meredith.
Oh,
yeah.
Meredith.
Meredith will be there, and what's her name? It's another actress. I can't remember her name, but one with glasses, older lady, I think.
Phyllis.
Phyllis. Yeah. Phyllis,
Phil, did you know that? Did you know that Phyllis was a St. Louis Cardinal cheerleader?
I did not know that.
She was a St. Louis Cardinal cheerleader.
She's also
footballer.
I'm not making this up.
No, I believe you, because she also she can do like belly dancing, or she does like some burlesque dancing, like she had done burlesque.
Mm-hmm. She did burlesque,
and then she became she was the assistant to the casting director, and then they liked how she read with the other actors, and so that's how she got the role.
Pulled Harrison Ford.
Yeah, pretty much. And funny thing about Meredith is that her dad had like mailed her a letter after the show is out, and
I just got a letter.
It was basically like, please keep your clothes on, because she was like, she just thought that was like the funniest thing, that she was, like that was his response to like that. Maybe it wasn't a letter, maybe it was like just a one-off, but. It's in the Office Ladies podcast. They talked to her about that Meredith says that her dad, his only comment to her, whether it came in a letter, I don't know why I think it's in a letter, but yeah,
it was back in the when Office came out, 2000,
2004.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, probably. Well, it could have been email. Now that.
Well, no, but I mean, like I don't know why. Like, I think her dad was old school and sent her a letter, or maybe he just made a remark. It's foggy. I've squeezed out that information to put other information in my brain. All Mandalorian based too. So
that's slick.
Anyway.
Slick.
But yeah, I got you.
Hey, thank you. I even said it, but you took your move.
Well, I was thinking,
it's not in the Tennessee Constitution. I don't get it. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Chevy also called Anthony Michael Hall a fairy at the panel. Huh?
Really?
To be fair, I mean it's just. But Anthony Michael Hall, I've heard him talk about Chevy Chase. He has nothing but great things to say about him.
Well, he got booted from the SNL from some gay slurs that I think he had aimed at some other cast member.
Chevy Chase?
In the 90s. Yeah. Because he hadn't appeared on there for a really long time. Like Lorne Michaels didn't invite him back.
I'm pretty sure.
He says a lot. He obviously says a lot of stupid things.
Yeah.
Wow. Next year's the 10th anniversary of the Office finale.
Wow. Oh, wow.
For some reason it seems longer.
Well, it's not like I know we all age, but even like you looking at
not me.
Michael Scott. You look at him now compared to, you're like, damn.
Oh,
I know he dyed his hair and stuff for the show, but you're like, damn, dude, like you're getting old.
It happens.
It does happen. Yeah.
People get old.
You know, hell, I was in the car with one of my friends the other day who's 32 or 33, and I was talking about. I was like, oh yeah, I was here, you know, when we invaded Iraq. And he's like, damn, dude, that's like half your lifetime ago. I'm just like, fuck you, man.
Jesus,
it's crazy. I mean, we're firmly in the 2020s now. You know what I mean? Like we're in the 20s. Like I mean, it seemed like in a blink of an eye, it was just like COVID, and then we had COVID life, and then it's like all of a sudden it's like fuck, the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
We're in it. We're in the thick of it. So
we are.
It's weird how, like, you know, I know you guys, I've told you that, you know, I've kept every ticket stub if I can keep them, you know, for concerts, sports events, movies, everything. Well, my whole life I've done it, and then there's like a clear gap, you know, from like March of 2020. It's just like there's nothing for basically 2 years, and it's so weird to have that gap there. You know, like, what did you do in those 2 years? I don't know, really. I just kind of sat around.
I podcast.
I podcast. I had these other guys.
I podcast with a mask on.
Yeah, we just yelled at each other for like an hour.
Found some
OnlyFans,
OnlyFans.
yeah. They took all my money. Yeah.
Randy, that was I don't know if it was a trending TikTok thing, but a video of this girl saying, "Isn't it crazy? A kid's born today will see the year 3000," and people keep
fucking do the math.
Right.
Well, yeah, everyone keeps stitching that video, being like,
some people are just so dumb.
800 and something years. 900 years away.
I always love it when like someone
take that shit down.
someone will do the like, oh, if we took all the money from all the billionaires in the United States, it would roughly add up to like $400 billion. So we could literally give $1 billion to every citizen. And you're just kind of like, really, dude?
I'd be okay with it.
But it's just like the fact that math is hard.
Yeah, math is hard. I know. Cindy and I started saying, okay, all right, we have a 6th grandkid on the way. Should be here within a month, and we're like going. I just hope I see them all graduate high school.
Aww.
I mean, I hope I see them go. I go. I want to see at least. I go. I want to be a great grandfather.
Yeah.
I go. So hopefully Zach marries young.
You're like, come on, Zach.
Come on, Zach.
You want to get a girl pregnant? Really?
You can do it. Get a girl pregnant. I mean, come on. But seriously, I mean, I would like to be a great, because I thought I was a young parent, but my kids took so long to get married and to have kids. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So now it's like, okay.
Jay didn't wait that long.
Jay did. He was like 30 something.
Yeah, that's common for our generation.
My generation waits too long.
We didn't.
My wife and I
was 39. I was 39 when my son was born.
Yeah, but you're fucking old.
Wait, whoa, yeah, whoa. What do you? Huh? Okay, I didn't do the math there.
Oh my God.
Our entire generation waited, Jack, because we don't have any money, because we were paid shit our entire lives, and we lived through 3 economic crashes.
Well, what does that have to do with me being a great grandfather?
Nothing. But you're saying we wait too long to have kids is because we can't afford them.
I didn't think of it that way.
You're still having them.
I mean, I really honestly just thought of it as like I wanted to live my life for a while, like not without kids, and
you're pretty fucking selfish.
Seriously,
it's a great debate. Like, I agree with Matt, because most anyone that's especially the boomers and Generation X, most of them had kids by the time they're 25 to 30.
18 to 25. They're like out the door, getting married and having kids. Boom.
Right. But that's what I'm saying, is that you're still basically a kid at that point. You haven't even lived your life, and you're trying to raise someone else. And that, I look back at how fucking stupid I was back then. I can't even imagine having like an 18-year-old kid right now. I'd be, what the fuck happened?
To be fair, that was my plan. I said, okay, we have these kids when we're young. They move out. Life is free. Now I got kids in the house now. It's like it didn't work, because now I'm watching kids again. So I'm kind of getting screwed on the whole deal. But so I think after that I should be. But that's how Cindy goes, I want to see them all get married. I go, good luck with that. Come on. I mean, the last kid's going to be named Jackson. So he's,
Good name.
you know, yeah, he's going to be. That's what my dad used to call me. But he would.
I figured Jefferson.
That's my son's name.
Oh.
Anyway, he's
what
got
about,
Not Jefferson, Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson.
What about
Yes.
John Adams?
That's right. Yeah, John Adams. No, he
Yeah.
got cheated on by Abigail.
That's what I'm saying. That's why Jefferson. Your hero.
But yeah, I told Cindy, I go, yeah, maybe you. I go, I don't think I can be around that long. I mean, it's just like, okay, by the time he gets out of college, he gets married, he's gonna be, and it's gonna be even worse then, because the kids are gonna wait even longer, right, to have kids.
I don't.
Well,
who knows? I mean,
I think we're gonna have a Prince Charles effect with our generation. Is that the boomers still control the majority of the money, and by the time our generation inherits the money, we'll be close to death as well. So then they'll have all the money.
You know that Queen Elizabeth was hoping she didn't want Charles to be the
king.
Yeah, she was like, I gotta hang on. I think Charles killed her myself. I'm just throwing it out there.
just dead legged her down the
She
stairs.
goes, she's never gonna die.
he laced her corgi.
Or
Well, I think she's putting her face in that corgi. So
Well, that's what, like, you know, like my mom I know has like a good life insurance policy, and she's always like, well, when I go, like, you're gonna be okay. And I'm like, Mom, all of your side of the family lived to be 100 years old. It's like I'm gonna be like 80 something by the time.
Time to go to Thailand.
Like,
That's Nick.
exactly. Yeah. Time to finally
turns
buckle down
80.
and get a girl pregnant.
you aren't gonna die.
Time to find myself some legal. I don't know why you're talking like an old Jimmy Carter, but I assume you're on a Tennessee ranch with peanuts and finding a woman. I do declare, Nick, it is time. Like these
from Georgia,
girls are
wasn't he?
coming by, like all like
Jimmy Carter from
fancying
Georgia?
you.
He's from Georgia, yeah. Peanut farm.
You said a Michael Scott moment there, Matt. I do declare.
I do declare. Murder!
There has been a murder.
Murder! No, Jim,
Suspected.
they need this.
Jenny.
John Nye.
Anyway, I just imagining that you're 80, and then that's when all of the poontang starts coming around for you.
She's not dead. She moved to Canada.
That was the one thing that was really weird. My boss had told me I was going to see it, but like all the creepy fucking old men in the Philippines, white old, like fat old men with like these little bitty, because the average height in Thailand, I mean in the Philippines is like 4'10", 4'9" for women, and so you see like just these big fucking fat white.
That's why their
guys
basketball team doesn't do well.
But yeah, it was weird. Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Yeah, that's really creepy.
No,
to
he was doing is the
I think I gotta be
Did you
honest with
see? Did you see that?
I didn't even know what that was. I mean, it's like going.
I meant the Philippines, but yeah, I saw it in the Philippines. Like the Philippines, I saw a lot of the Philippines. You just kind of because you think, at least the first time, I just being naive, I thought like it was like granddaughter or something, you know, and then you're like, oh no, she's making out with him. Oh, like, you know, and so it's just weird.
She has to
But
scoop
it's
up
funny
his
is
balls.
because it's such
She's a he.
And he's a she. It's all happening in the Philippines.
It's
Well,
all happening in
way
the
to go,
Philippines.
Marcos.
Yeah.
Can I have some
Like-
shoes? No.
I did. Yeah, I did have one really interesting conversation. If you want to know about like politics in the Philippines, about like why the Philippines are the way it is, they don't have like a.
It's a direct
even though they-
democracy with
It's,
Ugnaughts
yeah, it's a direct democracy. Yeah,
running
no,
the whole
it's 'cause
show.
They don't have like even though they are a democracy, they don't have a federalized system like we do, to where all the money is distributed out, and so like a lot of the politicians are paid for their seats, and they tend to be from like the two major cities in the Philippines. So all the money is concentrated on those two spots, and everyone else is just poor. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to. I didn't, you don't know until you actually go.
You
there,
don't know
have a
until you see
conversation.
it, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
so that's how that works in their.
Yeah.
So that's how it is in their family.
Seems fair to me.
That's a yeah.
Mhm.
Just pulling
Come
the
on,
thread
man.
out. Yeah.
Come along here. I have the prop for it too. Come along, Sloan. Come along, Dale. Isn't he wearing something like that? Like
I think
like,
he
Kiss
is.
for Daddy.
I think it is. Yeah, kiss for daddy.
I'd give it a kiss for him.
Oh my!
And that's how
I
they
love
do it in the
Paris.
Philippines.
I
I
was
love
so sorry
Paris.
for the actress.
Well,
who
they're
played
European.
Sloane. Yeah. I always felt sorry for the actress who played Sloane. She was gorgeous and just never had much of a career.
Oh yeah, no, she wasn't.
She didn't want it. She wanted it. She became she became a mother. Just cared about.
Well, I mean, she
You
still
know
did.
what?
She
I
just still
mean,
did roles. She still
did roles, but she. I don't think she was really into acting.
She
as
did
well
it
first.
her way, and that's cool. I admire that.
You're in
That's
Ferris
even-
Bueller's Day Off. What do you do after that?
Did I ever?
Right?
Did
Yeah,
I ever
no,
tell you, Matt, did I ever tell you that about that? Because you said My Way, it made me think of it. Like, did I ever? Life on Mars by David Bowie.
Mhm.
It was actually so when they were going to write My Way for Frank Sinatra, they had the lyrics, but they didn't have any music to it. So they sent it out to a lot of up and coming songwriters to see if they could put music to My Way. And Life on Mars is the music that he put to My Way. And so
can you overlap the two?
I mean, I doubt the tempos they're probably different because he was writing to the words. But like when you think about is the life on Mars, it was like I did it my way. Like it was kind of,
it has that same. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Huh? I never knew that. That's cool.
Mike says Jack just wants to do the 1,000th Lost rewatch with his great grandchild.
Right.
Aww.
I'm going to introduce you to Matt.
Mia Sarah married Sean Connery's son.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but then they divorced.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she's only 55.
She talks in her
sleep. I can't drive 55.
No one caught that one.
I'm sorry.
In one of those,
she talks in her sleep. Yeah.
Wow. Indiana Jones. The Jones is coming back.
Well,
I hope the fifth one is better than the fourth.
Yeah. I mean, the bar for me is really low.
How could it not be?
Someone actually pointed out, like, to me,
if it's better than the fourth and at least as good as the second, then okay.
Exactly. If it's on
because
par
the
with
third
Temple
one
of
to
Doom,
me
then
the third one to me is my favorite.
I like the third as well.
Even though the Raiders, I think, is like the classic.
Over Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders, I think, plot wise is better, but the one I can put in and watch over and over again is Crusade.
Right. And even with my son, introducing him to Indiana Jones, because it's a father and son thing. So like the first, although we did watch Raiders because there was at our local theater here in Franklin, they had a showing of Raiders, so we did go see Raiders. But yeah, I just put you. It's so easy to put on, and I love that father son dynamic in that whole movie. Because they fuck the same woman. It's so cool.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why it's like I'm as young as the
Jack,
next man.
Have you shared that with Jay or at all?
I have not. No, I've not.
Oh,
this is the podcast to break all podcasts.
I have not.
This
just got gross.
It's gonna be a great show. I'm telling you, you haven't heard anything like this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was you guys or someone else I was talking about. Like, the only thing this person I was talking with that they don't want is for the new Indiana Jones movies. They didn't want it to be like a series of like flashbacks, like with the Dial of Destiny of like him sitting around in the 60s and then like reliving things he did, I was like, no, like that would just be really shitty.
No, I want to see him.
Yeah.
I want to see him as an old Indiana Jones go back in time and, talk to young Indiana Jones, and like have this like weird, like, hey, you look good. Yeah, you look good too.
Well, there's a scene, I've seen the preview of it. The scene where he's you know how the ball Raiders of the Lost Ark coming down? He's in a walker trying to get away.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Everybody likes to go for the
doctor going back and forth. He goes, almost got me. Almost got me. I'm not saying he's old.
I mean, he is good in Shrinking, which is an Apple.
I've been wanting to see that.
He's good in 1923 too.
Yeah. It's Shrinking.
It's good actor.
It's good. It's worth a watch. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely worth watching.
I like Jason Segel, so
yeah.
I mean, he's my favorite amongst the Segals.
I love him in the Saving Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall is really it's a good one.
I mean,
sure.
That's another like 20-year-old movie.
He couldn't lose either way, right? Am I right?
I mean, to me, I think about all of those Adam Sandler movies from the 90s as like movies that I watched coming out of high school, and like, you know, some of those Jim Carrey movies, and it's like that's like just old. That is just so old to like this next generation. Like they may never
ago.
Yeah, it's just like,
well, that's what even Indiana Jones, the last one, is 15 years old.
Right?
It's like, fuck. Like,
Raiders came out, what, 80, 81, 82?
81 was Raiders.
81?
Yeah. 84 is.
And
I
remember seeing it in the theater.
I thought Raiders was in the 70s. I thought it was
No.
79.
No.
Raiders is 81.
81.
Doom is 84.
Oh, Doom is 84. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last one's
Crusade
89.
89.
89, yeah. Okay.
And then what's sad is that what the script that became the next movie, Cliff found it and read it. He said it's really good. Like they took some elements from it and made the fourth film, but that one was supposed to be made in 94. But he was doing the Jack Ryan stuff.
Fuck the Jack Ryan bullshit.
Yeah.
We could have had brilliance.
I like the Jack Ryan movies, though.
Yeah. I mean,
I would have taken
being stupid for giving up that franchise.
I would have taken Indiana Jones over that.
Yeah.
He did the what was that? What was that?
Would have been Tom Selleck.
The movie he did about the murder.
Yeah.
Which one?
Dr. Campbell.
The Fugitive.
Fugitive. Right.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did not kill my. I don't care.
It's the worst.
That would be an interesting versus like best
Yeah.
Harrison Ford movie, you know, because I mean, like there's so many, excluding Star Wars. I mean, because Star Wars, I think would just
6
be
Days, 7 Nights. Yeah.
Witness.
Yeah, I was like, Witness was like.
Kelly McGinnis and
It's like we talked about. Like I think one of his best acting roles was regarding Henry, which is
Regarding
an
Henry, yes.
underrated film.
Air Force One.
Get off my plane.
Fugitive's solid though.
Yeah, Fugitive's solid.
Yeah.
Can't
go wrong with the Fugitive.
I never have seen Mosquito Coast.
I saw Mosquito Coast.
I think I saw that.
It was one of those like movies, you know, that was just like on HBO or Showtime while I was visiting my dad. You know, thanks
American Graffiti.
Yeah.
Real quick here. I had this conversation with my wife the other day. She, honest to God, thought Gilligan's Island was from the 80s.
Well, they did make a movie in the 80s.
I was like,
I think.
Yeah,
they were with the
Globetrotters or something.
I was like, it's from the 60s. Like it was like the first episode's in black and white.
Right.
Well, I didn't know. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, that show transitioned into color while on the air.
She had a valid
just like
point.
Andy Griffith. Yeah.
Yep.
She had a valid point. She was like, well, the theme song just seems like every other 80s theme song. And I was like,
it's true,
that's fair.
Gilligan's Island was taken off the air because of Gunsmoke. They moved
Oh.
Gunsmoke into their slot, and they just said, "All right, we're done," because it had been picked up. They said, "No, Gunsmoke's a more popular show." Gilligan's Island had to.
Which
it's amazing. It only went for 99.
I would have killed Gilligan myself, but that's
it only went for 99 episodes, but 3 seasons.
Damn.
Look at Star Trek.
I mean,
3 seasons.
3 seasons on a 5-year mission. They used to record like 33, 34 episodes a season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now we're like going, now they're going to 10 episodes? Come on.
Oh, there's 12 episodes of Ted Lasso. Jeez, I gotta enjoy it while it lasts, right?
Sorry,
that's why those old shows can syndicate, even though they were only on for 3 years, 4 years, because there's so many episodes.
We got 974 episodes to air.
Yeah.
Well, the original Star Trek was only 80 episodes, 3 seasons. So
Still, that's a shit.
Still, it's a lot. It's a shit ton. Yeah. So
You ever see that Saturday Night Live episode where Star Trek gets canceled?
oh yeah, and they come in and they take away and they take off the ears.
And Chevy Chase is Spock, and he's trying to get them.
He's trying to give him the Vulcan pinch.
Vulcan-
right?
That's nice.
Just stop it, Nimoy. I think John Belushi
was Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty funny.
Hey, Paul, let's beat up Clarence and steal all of his ideas. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, go watch.
I know exactly what you're
watch
talking
the Eddie Murphy, Clarence Beatles SNL. Just Google search that. It's hilarious as fuck.
Yes.
So,
well, it's Eddie Murphy. When Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, it's funny. Eddie Murphy SNL at its peak.
I mean, yeah, Eddie Murphy had a bunch of them. Like even Ebony and Ivory.
He was another person that came out. He came out
white.
of the gates swinging. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like the age of Eddie Murphy.
Blind as a bat, and I have sight.
It was Joe Piscopo and Eddie Murphy.
Joe Piscopo, yeah.
I mean, Joe Piscopo. Whatever happened to that guy? He just got
seriously.
He got juiced, and then he was juiced. He was huge. I think the last thing he did was Johnny Dangerously with Michael.
Right. Keaton. I forgot. Yeah, he's in that. He's been in stuff, but yeah, I've seen him on commercials, but that's about it.
Eddie Murphy came out of the gate swinging too. I mean, he was 18, 19, 20. Like by the time he's 20, he's just
he's a megastar.
Yeah.
I often forget
he's doing 48 hours,
20, 21, 22. I mean, I guess he was 60. He was born in 61. So by 1981, he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy is that, he is basically a has-been by the time he was 30 years old. And that's just what's nuts to me is that, because you look at roughly the early 90s when he's 30.
But Bowfinger's
great. Yeah.
It is so good.
I like Daddy Daycare. He had a few hits there. They're pretty good. But but you look at the flops he had, Beverly Hills Cop 3 is horrible.
Well, and then that
the
space one that he did was such a stinker.
Pluto Nash.
Pluto Nash sunk Eddie Murphy, in my opinion. If he hadn't done Pluto Nash,
I still think that his problem was he went mainstream instead of being the edgy guy that he was. He's funny.
He's also crazy.
Yeah, I think that's with
crazy good.
No, he's psychotic.
Really?
I think with all comedians though, you get to a certain point where you can't be edgy anymore, or you can't because I think Dana Carvey said that where once you have kids. Your brain changes from being that rebel crazy guy to being I want to make something that'll make my kids laugh, and you just what are we doing here? Oh yeah, because I mean you look at Mike Myers and he was on fire in the 90s and everything he's made since is just shit. Same as Adam Sandler. It's just
plus times change. If you don't go with the
I didn't mind the Netflix shows with what's her name?
I haven't watched any of them, so.
Yeah. I haven't watched the newest one on Netflix, but I watched the first one. And then he also had Grown Ups, which was huge. So whether or not you like Grown Ups or not, it was huge. So, but yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to shit all over Adam Sandler, but because he's definitely had his peaks and valleys, but
sure.
Because he's proven
made a lot of money.
That he can act if he wants to. But he just doesn't try a lot of times.
Well, you made that much money. You just do what you want. Right. I mean, you have a
podcast.
You have a what?
That's why I do this podcast.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Jack might remember better than me, but I do remember that season of Survivor years ago when Jack and Jill came out, and they let the winners of one of the challenges in Survivor watch a pre-screening of Jack and Jill. And all of them came out. All the people got to see it were like, it's so good. I'm such a fan of Adam Sandler. And then you're just like, man, you're like, you've got to praise it. You've got to say it's good.
Yeah. It's like when they have Applebee's. Applebee's, that's my favorite restaurant.
Right.
Come on. I know
Applebee's isn't anyone's favorite restaurant.
But it was on Survivor.
Yeah.
I could probably narrow down the last date I was in an actual Applebee's, and it was because somebody else took me there to have steak, of all things.
Yeah. I'll say this though, I haven't been there for years, but their beer pretzels are excellent. Beer batter pretzels.
Okay,
Shirley says
stamp of approval.
PepsiCo.
PepsiCo.
Piscopo is currently a morning show host in New York area AM radio station.
And then read the next one.
Where are we at here?
Really?
Last, John says last search for Chris. Job for Mandalore.
See, the thing is,
so they caught me. They caught me looking at a different window on the screen because I was trying to pull up another individual.
Let me clarify one iota here, okay? For the listeners that can't see the chat.
At this time, we're going to take a commercial break.
Fuck you. Fuck off in your fucking commercial. I don't give a fuck about whatever's being said next.
I had to do one. I had to.
All right.
Anywho,
one
go ahead.
Point. Just one.
Are we going back to
for all of the listeners that can't see, John has been pining with a deep set rock hard on in the chat for the last 20 minutes, just trying to bait us to talk about the fucking Mandalorian again. I mean, he has been like, he's probably jizzing in his pants right now, exploding all over the screen because we're actually talking about the Mandalorian
all over the
and his comment. But thank you, John. Thanks for contributing. Cheerio. And thanks for everybody that joins us live.
And jizzes all over the screen.
I appreciate it. We feel your presence.
I hope I don't feel it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I have any fucks left to give? I guess not.
Oh.
What? I can't be mean, Matt. I can't be negative, Matt.
You can be negative, mean, Matt. You can be negative, mean, Matt.
You can be whatever you want to be, Matt.
I don't have your own persona.
Call me
from
now on. Just call me.
We don't discriminate here.
No.
You
Great.
want to be a
You
dick?
can have your own opinion. It's okay.
Wow. Okay. Let's get back to that shit talk.
Next, Chris, John the Retired Guy says, next Chris search, how to deal with hostile podcasting.
How to win friends and influence people. Yeah.
I do it for the nookie. I'll see myself out.
Like I love the last. Oh,
come on, Matt, come back.
The last time I said a word about the Mandalorian was literally like 2 fucking hours ago, and he's just so fucking mad. Although John has been peppering him in the chat.
Yes. Is Matt not going to come back? Come on, Matt. Come on, Matt.
Well, it's probably a good time to wrap it up, anyways.
Because I got to get up here in a few hours. But I did want to thank you, Chris, for Xander Bogaerts. He's just an amazing player. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I mean, you sent us Don Arcello, who's gold.
Oh my god, I fucking love that.
I still can't believe. I listen to him all the time. When I'm listening, but I go, why did the Red Sox let him go?
It's the worst. One of the worst trades ever.
And
I had no idea.
When Jerry Remy died and they had the tribute, they didn't invite him there.
Nope.
I mean, there must have been something that happened that. But still, he's gold.
He's absolute national treasure in broadcasting.
John Hart on his back.
Hey, I'm back, guys. Are we going to wrap this show up?
We're wrapping up. You left and we started crying.
Sure.
But no, and Bogaerts has been just amazing. So
yeah,
thanks for that.
You're welcome.
But that's all we got. I'm glad everyone joined us. Everyone in the chat, it's been a lot of fun. The Mandalorian talk was very interesting. Nick has fallen asleep over there. It's what time is it in Colorado?
9:35.
9:35. God, I wish I could end at 9:35.
Oh my god.
Yeah, me too. We could have just
we're all on
stopped
East Coast
and started
time, right?
this entire show.
Yeah, y'all.
Because it's like 11:35 to us, and it's like, oh my god, fuck, that sucks. Anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll probably be back next week. This show was 1 in a million, but we like to thank. If you'd like to become a patron, yeah. Okay.
By the way, for the people that just listen to the podcast, Jack just throws his hands up like, if you like to donate, whatever. Fuck you, people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like doing this part. I don't like I'm not a salesman. I'm not. I'm not Michael.
If you want to give us some money, go ahead. If you don't want to, we're not going to hold it against you.
No,
I
well,
wouldn't
we
do it
will,
either.
but that's okay.
Just trying to pay for Jack's Hulu addiction.
Hulu, yeah. I won't eat this week because my wife paid for Hulu, but that's okay. She paid the extra $5 for Hulu. I go, okay, I guess we'll have to go without air conditioning this week or heat because the weather is going to be 85 tomorrow, and on Saturday it's going to be 49. What the fuck's going on here?
Welcome to New England. It's like that all the time.
It's ridiculous. But if you'd like to become a patron, you go to jayandjack.com, little button to become a patron. But this time we're going to thank Eckhart Rippner Glaffeler, Maggie the Magnificent. Did we have any emails?
No, you don't say that right now.
Too late.
Any emails?
Next show.
Too late.
That
You're halfway through the fucking Patriots, dude. You can't.
Thank you, Maggie the Magnificent.
Joanne with the
plan.
And
thank you, Ed the late.
Creepy little poopy Perry Popa Poo Doody.
It's a poope.
Poope.
This is the poope.
Oh, I forgot to mention. I thought my grandson was saying.
What the fuck?
My youngest grandson. Ashton,
I need to just become the producer so I can end the show like.
I thought he was saying
earlier.
It's a cute story. Just relax. I thought he was saying Papa.
This is the poope.
Papa. I said he's saying my name, Papa, because I work with him saying it. Actually, I think he's saying Kaka.
Oh,
so
that actually is your name.
He's actually been calling you shit this whole time.
Yeah. So it's a whole shit story.
I see.
But yeah, I was all excited.
Connects,
and then
it's like a Mandalorian episode.
But thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with more exciting tales from the crypt and where that came from. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and tell a friend. Bye, everybody.
Don't forget, the squeaky gears get the oil.
Get lubed, John.
Get lubes. Sometimes you need the lube.